Well, as I thought was going to happen, because it always does every year, my week 2 picks were certainly a bit better than week 1. They weren't outstanding, but hey, progress is progress, right? I guess, but it certainly was not a great performance even still, because I was 8-8 against the spread last week and 10-6 picking winners. And I still feel like there were a number of crazy things that happened last week, and that happens sometimes early on in the season. So looking forward to doing better in week 3 because I'm below 500, both picking straight up winners and against the spread, and I feel like a scrub right now. So hope to God that it will get better. So here I am to bring you my picks for week 3 of this 2022 NFL season. Thursday night, had the Browns minus the 4.5, and that came through, so at least I got something right. So hopefully maybe that'll be a foretelling of better things to come this week. But let's shift and talk about the Sunday games. In the early slate of games, you've got Lovie Smith coming back with the Houston Texans to face the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears at 2.5-point favorites. I get a strong sense that we're going to see a lot of Bears football on Sunday. And this is absolutely a homer pick. I don't know why I'm picking it, but I will go ahead. Lovie Smith is 0-2 against the Bears as a head coach. You remember he faced him he was the head guy in Tampa in 2014 and 2015. The Bears beat him both times. However, the Bears in their history are 1-4 all time against the Houston Texans, so something's got to give here. I'll take the Bears minus the 2.5 in a Bears football snooze fest. Another intriguing matchup of 0-2 teams. You've got the Raiders traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. And yeah, rough losses in different ways for both teams in week 2. Shouldn't be feeling very good about that. But something's got to give here unless they tie. Let's go for the fucking tie here. But, you look at it and you say, if Tennessee goes to 0-3 at this point, you should be starting Malik Willis. They should already be doing that because they're already 0-2. Like, what the hell are you waiting for? But nonetheless, like there's a spot here. I guess I could see why the money's on the Raiders right now because they've been in a couple of close games and they really gagged it against the Cardinals late, but they were up 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions in the fourth quarter before losing to Arizona in overtime. Meanwhile, Tennessee absolutely got boat raced in prime time by the Bills on Monday night. But I'll take the Titans plus the 2 here. And that's one thing that I'm looking at a number of these games this week. I feel like I'm picking a number of games against, the convention where the money's falling. So either I know something that everybody else does or I'm a fucking idiot and I'm overthinking this dramatically. And it's probably more the latter than the former. You've got the Chiefs traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And yeah, you got to smash the Chiefs minus the 5.5 here. I mean, the Colts were embarrassed by the freaking Jags. Matt Ryan threw 3 picks. And yeah, they were god-awful. So yeah, give me the Chiefs minus the 5.5. Big marquee matchup in the early slate of Sunday games. This should be a lot of fun. You've got the 2-0 and dominant Buffalo Bills traveling on the road to take on the 2-0 Miami Dolphins. Coming on the heels of Tua's 6-touchdown game where he threw 4 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter. Buffalo's favored by 5 here. And I totally get that. I would say usually a 2-0 team on the road at a 2-0 team, 2 teams that you envision making the playoffs this year, the Bills being a Super Bowl threat, yes. But Buffalo has looked so goddamn dominant in their first 2 games, it's really hard to pick against them here. And I get that. I absolutely, totally do. But Bills have got some injuries, so I'm going to go completely crazy here, and I'm going to take Miami plus the 5. Dolphins fans are probably feeling a mix of emotions right now. He picked the Dolphins. My God, he picked the Dolphins. He went against Josh Allen. I can't believe he did that. To then the realization that, oh my God, it's the Jeff Jakes. No. Yes. Miami plus the 5. Suck on that. You got the Lions traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings are 6-point favorites here. I do like Minnesota to win, but I like the Lions maybe to do another backdoor cover. I mean, they're 2-0 against the spread so far this year, so I will take it. So give me Minnesota to win, Detroit plus the 6 to cover the spread. You've got the Ravens traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. I will take the Ravens minus the 2.5. You've got the Bengals traveling to New York to take on the Jets. Both teams, you look at them and you say, okay, the Jets coming off of that last-minute come-from-behind victory over the Browns last week, and the Bengals, for the second straight week, their offensive line looked bad, Joe Burrow looked bad. They're in some trouble here. It's an absolute must-win game for them. I expect them to respond and rebound, so give me the Bengals minus the 6. Key divisional matchup in the NFC East. No, it's the East this year because you've got some worthy teams, I suppose. You got the Eagles traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders Captain Carson Wentz and the Commanders. Oh, God. Philadelphia is favored by 6.5. I like the Eagles to win. I like the Commanders to cover the 6.5 point spread. And then you've got Jameis and the Saints traveling to Carolina to take on Matt Fool, Baker Midfield, and the Carolina Panthers. I said those names right. And don't fact check me. You know they're right. Matt Fool and Baker Midfield. I like Carolina in an upset here for some strange reason. Give me Carolina plus the 2.5. Switching over to the late docket of games on Sunday, you got the Jaguars traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. The money has shifted dramatically here with the thought that Justin Herbert may not play. And I'm making these picks on like Saturday morning, so I don't know what Herbert's status is going to be. But with the spread here being 3, I'll stick with the Chargers. Give me the Chargers minus the 3. You got the Rams traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I will take the Rams minus the 3.5. Even though, you know, they jumped out to that huge lead against Atlanta last week and then just Atlanta come back and cover the spread themselves. So the Rams are 0-2 against the spread so far this year. You've got the Falcons traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Is anybody going to watch this game? Would anybody want to watch this game? If so, why? Seattle's a small, like, half-point favorite here from what I saw. It's a total pick-up game to me. God, this one's probably going to suck, but it could also be incredibly awesome because it's two really bad teams. I'll take Atlanta plus the half point because why not? And then your marquee game of marquee games in the late Sunday afternoon slate is going to be Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers traveling to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Tampa's favored by a point here. I guess the money in Vegas isn't exactly 100% convinced because the Packers blew out the Bears on Sunday night. Yeah, but they always blow out the Bears on Sunday night because the Bears are always trash. And Aaron Rodgers is their daddy. But in this case, I will take Green Bay plus 1. Especially Chris Godwin's out for the Buccaneers again. I'll take Green Bay plus the 1. The Sunday night game, we'll see how this one turns out. You got the 49ers and Jimmy G taking on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. The 49ers are favored by 1.5 here. We'll see how Nathaniel Hackett does with another opportunity in prime time. Early returns on him, I think, as a head coach and a game manager certainly are not very glowing right now. I will take Denver to win plus the 1.5. And then the Monday night game should be, in theory, a really good one. I mean, obviously, the NFL does what they can every single week to make sure the Cowboys are in some type of featured spot, which we know the reasons for, and that's a mixed bag. I won't get into it there. But here you've got a 1-1 Cowboys team coming off of a win last week over the defending AFC champions and the Cincinnati Bengals with Cooper Rush at quarterback, traveling to New York to take on the surprising Brian Daboll-led 2-0 New York Giants. This could be a really good one. You've got a game where you've got two backup quarterbacks, and you're saying, well, wait, Daniel Jones, I said two backup quarterbacks. I said what I fucking said. Two NFL backup quarterbacks starting. So I look at the coaching situation, and there's a big piece to me that looks and say Daboll has a huge advantage over Mike McCarthy, and I don't even know if Cowboys fans would disagree with that. Certainly Giants fans wouldn't. But when I look at the roster and I look at the teams, I think the Cowboys have a better overall team. So even though the Giants are small favorites here, give me Dallas plus the 1 to win on Monday night. So those are my picks for this week. Hope to God it's better than week 1, and so I would love to have a better result than week 2 because I need to get off the negative schneid and start having a winning record soon or I'm going to get embarrassed. All right, I'm out.